You just talked about Kamala Harris supposedly eating a bag of Doritos, so emotionally charged after hearing this. That's the commander-in-chief, potentially. That's the emotional response of the leader of the free world, is to binge eat a bag of Doritos? Are you kidding me? Can you imagine Putin, how he deals with things, chugging down a bag of Sour Patch Kids because he's depressed about something not going his way? Or back in the day, Soleimani, what is he, binging on Funyuns? I doubt it. I doubt that's the actual response of an elite leader, whether you agree with what they're leading or not.
This can't really be the latest argument against Vice President Harris, that she ate a bag of Doritos. I refuse to believe it.
Jesse, is this the largest crisis you've ever seen a campaign face?
I mean, this is like Obama's tan suit. I don't even know. We should just pre-impeach. But Jessica, she did explain why she likes Doritos. She said after she found out Trump won in 2016, she sat there with like a big family-sized bag of Doritos and ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
She obviously eats her feelings. And when she experiences anxiety, she puts a lot of food in her mouth. I'm worried if she's elected commander-in-chief, she's going to become so anxious, she's going to end up looking like Walls.
Okay, the woman vote, again, coming home for the Republicans.
No, that's not what I said. That's what people
I learned too.
For real, conservative pundits on Fox are outraged over the damning revelation that Kamala Harris ate a family-sized bag of Doritos because she was so distraught over Trump winning the White House. And Elizabeth Hasselbeck can't imagine that kind of emotional response coming from Putin when things don't go his way. It's much more elite for him to invade countries or murder his political enemies when he's upset. That's what we like. Trump is even more like Putin. When he's upset, he directs his MAGA foot soldiers to invade the Capitol and violently stop democracy by hanging his vice president. I think sane people will go with the Dorito approach. But despite all that outrage over chips, this is their guy.
So last night after the town hall, I went to celebrate at McDonald's. I had a #1 meal, which is my favorite meal. I understand you were a big fast food guy as well. That you actually bring fast food to your plane sometimes.
I do sometimes, and frankly,
what do you eat when you roll up at a McDonald's? What does Donald Trump order?
Fish delight sometimes, right? The Big Macs are great. The Quarter Pounder with cheese. I mean, it's great stuff.
Do people at the windows be like, what?
I'm a person that can't sort of believe it, but I'm a person that I like cleanliness. I like clean. And the one thing about the big franchises, you have to have a certain, because of the importance. One bad hamburger, you can destroy McDonald's. One bad hamburger, you take Wendy's and all these other places, and they're out of business. You can't do it. I mean, I don't want to mention the name of the firm, but you see what a certain firm is going through right now. I mean, I don't know, do they make it, do they not make it? So I'm a very clean person. I like cleanliness, and I think you're better off going there than maybe someplace that you have no idea where the food's coming from. It's a certain standard, but I think the food's good, and I eat it very carefully. I do as good as well as I can, but I think all of those places, Burger King, McDonald's, I can live with them. I had the other night, I had Kentucky Fried Chicken, not the worst thing in the world.
They don't believe the bull that they're talking about. They just don't. Donald Trump offered up cold Big Macs to the Clemson football team when they visited the White House after winning the national championship. But it didn't mean North Korea was emboldened because of it. They don't care that Harris likes to binge eat Doritos. They don't think that she'll drop some fake nacho cheese dust onto a big red nuke button in the Oval Office that'll accidentally get pressed, which will launch bombs at Florida. They just think that their supporters are stupid enough to add this to the list of nonsense things to hate about her.
Diet.
I like vegetables, I like to, eat with a knife and fork whenever I can.
Good.
And I say that because these days campaigning, I am often eating in the car, ripping open boxes and, something that can be eaten with one hand.
Yes. Exercise.
Tea.
Coffee or tea?
Tea and coffee.
Yeah. Beer, wine, or bourbon?
Wine.
Your favorite treat if you want to indulge?
Doritos, nachos.
Oh, okay. Your favorite way to relax?
With my family, Sunday family dinner.
Actually, the worst part about this ridiculous outrage is that there's several other things to be annoyed about when it comes to this Dorito gate. Even though that last video is from 2019, I don't care that the vice president likes wine over beer or vegetables over fruit. It's all political strategy to get people to connect with a candidate on a relatable level, which just doesn't interest me, but it works on others. And detractors can't even make that argument because damn near every politician does it. So Harris and Walsh are digging in.
You see corn nuts over there,
Isn't this it?
Oh, yeah,
that's the big. There you go. That's funny. You see corn nuts?
over there.
You see, there were cameras and handlers all over that convenience store for that photo op where Harris needs her running mate to toss over some Doritos and corn nuts. That's the annoying part. So connecting snacking to beneath the office of president just shows how desperate these guys are to find anything concrete to complain about. Because we all know that they won't point out anything serious, like how the Biden administration continues to provide weapons to Israel and Harris is against the demands for an embargo. Maybe it's because Republicans support funding it just as much, if not more. That's why they're begging for Harris to, do some interviews to provide some more campaign fodder other than Cool Ranch or Flamin' Hot.
One of the strongest arguments that Republicans are trying to make against Kamala is she doesn't include any details. And if people are paying attention to Donald Trump, they know that he is the one who's really the emperor with no clothes. He said he's going to bring down inflation by signing an executive order directing every cabinet secretary and agency head to use every tool and authority at their disposal to defeat inflation, to bring down consumer prices rapidly. Oh, and we'll do it rapidly. What is that?
That's
what
one
kind
prong of the plan.
Jesse, don't cover for him.
No, that's one prong. Uno prongo.
That is
uno
so
prongo.
far from a policy.
That's uno prongo.
Republicans' best argument just might be the lack of detailed policy proposals listed on Harris's website. But they can't even lean into that when Trump's policy is tell cabinet and agency heads to bring down inflation. Because when that fifth grade policy plan is said out loud by someone other than Trump, the panel on the five does everything they can to drown out those facts.
You cherry-picked it.
No, I didn't cherry-pick.
Did you not hear drill, baby, drill?
I did, and guess what? The Biden administration
you know what that
has been
does?
the one doing it.
You know what that does? That'll eventually lower rates when you open up American energy.
He says no factories opening, no manufacturing jobs. There's been a boon under this administration, over 800,000.
A boom or a boon? Is it a boom or a boon?
I understand
you don't even know
what
the
you're
difference.
doing, and only for diehard Trump supporters will this work. Normal people can see that he is not
normal people love me.
Yeah. Normal people.
They can't get enough.
I know normal people.
Do you? Are they the ones that are
life.
lining up for the free abortions at the little free abortion tent? And Vance is weird for not. Just because you guys are focused on abortion doesn't mean that everybody else has to.
Actually, it does,
So
Greg,
enjoy the free abortion lot. We're going to go have real joy.
Yeah.
Every
Johnny
election,
is going to get an abortion also. So
Thank you.
That's hilarious.
Because men can get abortions thanks to you, Jessica.
They can.
You guys,
He didn't use
get that woman vote. Get that woman vote. Keep going for it.
Waters and Gutfeld know that Trump is too lazy and uninformed to give a policy plan that means something. So the plan is to run cover for him while telling viewers that they should be worried about Doritos. It's really looking like desperation time because the policies he does float actually make things worse.
If you don't get rid of that tax within 24 hours, starting on Monday morning, it was a Friday, I'm going to charge every bottle of wine and champagne that you send into our country, I'm going to charge you a tariff of 100% on every bottle.
The former president has a set of tariffs that are incredibly sweeping and the opposite of targeted. On 60% tariff on everything from China and 10% on all imports. Now let's stop calling it a tariff. Let's call it a tax. It is a tax on consumer spending that will hit middle-class families and have exactly the opposite effect on inflation of everything we've talked about so far in this president's agenda. We are working hard to lower costs in prescription drugs and all the areas we've talked about, and Republicans want to repeal those rules, which of course would mean higher prices in the area of health care, in the area of energy, in the area of housing and child care, certainly in health care coverage. And then on top of that, add a massive sweeping set of tariffs, which are a sales tax for consumers, highly regressive, hit the middle class hard, and highly inflationary.